Hi everyone, welcome to this new video lecture of fluid mechanics. In this lecture, we'll discuss about the topic of surface tension. Surface tension is actually the tendency of liquid surface to shrink into minimum surface area possible. And it also can be defined as the intermolecular traction force per unit length along the free surface of a liquid. And also it can be defined as the tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid in contact with a gas, or you can say the surface between two immiscible liquids such that the contact surface behaves like a membrane under a tension. Okay, so it means if you take a glass of water and in the glass of water, if you want to keep some kind of particle objects in that surface of the water, then you can see, now see here I have taken an example of this glass of water and I have kept one small pin. Okay, small paper pin I have kept on this, and you can see it is able to sustain in the surface of this water. But same pin, if I will keep in vertically to this one, okay, then it may be merged in the water. It may be sinked in the water, not in the floating condition. We'll discuss more about this. Let's see some other definitions are there. And what are the reasons are there for to sustain in the surface of the area, and how it is, how the molecules are attaching with each other with a very good bonding. So that also we'll see. So the surface tension actually denoted by the symbol sigma. Okay, and as I told you, this is the traction force per unit length. Okay, that means the molecular force which is acting on the surface of the liquid. So that is nothing but the force per unit length. So that is actually, we need to consider the unit length of this surface. So particularly at what length, what kind of force is acting for that. Okay, so that is known as a surface tension. So that unit will be like Newton and per meter. Okay, and the liquid air interface, because this is the liquid part is there, all these liquids are there, and the top of the surface, this is your air will be there, or you can say that gas can be considered here. Okay, so at this liquid air interface, the sigma value is greater attraction force or greater attraction of liquid molecules to each other than the molecules in the air. That means the molecule particles which is present inside the water, which is more than the molecule particles which is having at this air condition. Okay, and this surface tension effect, actually this is caused by the unbalanced of cohesion forces at the liquid surface, which produces the downward resultant force, which can be physically seen in the as a membrane. I'll tell you about this unbalanced cohesive force. Okay, we'll discuss that one. And the property of the surface of a liquid that allows resist an external force due to the cohesive nature of its molecules. The same points what I've told you. Okay, and the value of surface tension of water I have taken here 0.072 Newton per meter. Okay, now suppose if you see this liquid droplets, this liquid droplets is going to fall down from this level, but at the last moment of attachment it is there. Now in the next level it is going to be detached from this next their neighboring molecules. So okay, so you can see how much the bonding is between this each molecules are there, and it will take some time to detach from them because it is so much strong of attachment of bondings are there between the molecules. Okay, now here I have taken a water in a container, and I already told you that one small paper pin I have kept on this, and if you see this paper pin also maybe chances that it will be sink in the water if you won't keep it properly, like you need to keep this paper pin in such a way that it should not be any disturbance will be there. Lightly or gently you need to put the paper pin on the surface of the this water container, then only it will be in the floating mode, otherwise it will be fall down or it will be sink in the water. And some other examples also there. Now suppose if another one container is there, and in this container if we want to keep a needle, and you can see this needle surface area how much is there. So this surface, that means the needle force what is acting on this water surface along the length, if you see, then that means the water molecules is able to resist the load of the needle in horizontally, okay, so that the needle is able to float on the water surface. If same needle, if I keep on the vertically in this direction, if I will keep it, then obviously it is going to sink in the water, because the load or the force which is acting on the surface along the length is very more than this. So the water molecules not able to resist that force, so that it allows the needle into the water, okay. And if you keep in the vertically in this way, then the same force will be there, okay, or the same load will be there of that needle, but the length of this area, or you can say that surface of this water is more, so that it is able to resist that force, okay. In that way we can say that needle is going to float on the surface of the water. And that also is quite different. It depends like what is the weight of this needle and whether the water molecules are able to resist that or not, okay. So these are some examples are there. Let's try to understand some more concept on this surface tension, how these bondings are there, okay. Now here I have taken that diagram from this internet. So in this, if you see, this surface tension is acting like an spherical or circular object, not in that in kind of rectangular or square object, because if you see the definition, it is the minimum surface area possible, okay. The surface to shrink into the minimum surface area possible. That means the molecules which is present inside this water, now suppose this is the container of water, in this water is there, okay. And in this, if you see the number of, if I zoom this one, we'll get number of molecules are inside this water, okay. And all these molecules are, they're having a bonding between these all molecules, okay. So hydrogen, what is there, the hydrogen molecules which is present inside this water, they all are they're all are pulling each other, okay. This intermolecular force in pulling each other in all directions, and so all will be attached, or they will be in bonding, so that it will try to shrink in a minimum surface area, okay. So this is the you can say the molecular bonding between these all molecules, and it will be squeezed in such a way that it will make a circle or a small sphere will be there, okay, not in terms of like rectangular or square. This is inner part, okay. You can say this is the inside part of the water, okay. And this force, the force which is acting here, okay, that is called cohesive force. That is called cohesive force, or due to the cohesion, you can say all these molecules are attached with each other, okay. This is among the similar kind of particles. So the cohesion is actually nothing but when you say the forces of attraction between the similar materials, or you can say between the same liquid, okay. So that force is called as cohesion. Now if you see to the border area in this zone, okay, the upper surface of this water layer, at the zone, the water droplets, that means the water and air, okay, this is the combination of water and air at this level, okay. So the forces which is acting in this, it will be in this, in the top, in this other direction, it will be not there, okay. It will be not there in the top direction, because at this level here air is there, and that force and this force both are different. So in between, you can see these forces are acting in between them. So it's trying to keep that molecules in between their boundary layer. You can say this is the boundary what we have drawn. So between this, all these forces will be acted. So the surface molecules pull inward. That means this molecules will be trying to pull inside this, okay, because the molecule strength of air will be not that much stronger than this, so it is not able to pull towards the air. So this is one of the reason. And here if you see, yeah, one more example I have taken here. So this is the cohesive force what I told you. So this is one material is there, and here also maybe similar material will be there. But the liquid which we have poured here, if you see that area what think, you can say it was like, you know, extension of this liquid. That means this liquid and this material both are similar kind of, or it is known similar kind of material, or you can say it is able to extend its surface to this this surface. So the forces between this liquid and this one is can called as cohesive. Though the cohesive force is acting between the similar material, similar liquids or similar kind of materials, but here also the bonding, that means this material can able to attract this liquid, so that it is, you know, extension is there of that. So here also we can say some kind of contact angle between this this material or this material. That is a different concept of, you know, hydrophobic and hydrophilic concept is there. So that we won't discuss now. This is hydrophobic and hydrophilic nature. Now here at this region, if you see the forces which is acting between this surface and this liquid zone, that is a adhesive. So that you can say there is a huge gap is there, and it is not able to attract this fluid particles by this object. So that is one region, and another one will be there hydrophilic. So that's why this kind of attraction and the repulsion will be there between these materials. Okay, and some examples I have taken here also: formation of water bubbles, formation of rain droplets, and collection of dust particles in the water surface, floating of needle, as I told you already, and walking on a water. That means the small insects which is, you can walk on the water. Also I have shown the example, and capillary rise and capillary symphony. So here one more example also I given. So a small insect can able to walk on the water surface. That also reason is there. If this insect is having some more weight and the surface area is small, then it is not able to walk on the water. So you can see how much length it is giving some kind of force. That means the length, the force was distributed in different zones. Okay, so the force which is acting on the surface of the liquid can able to resist the weight of these insects. So that's why it is able to float on the water. Okay, so this is the main concept of this surface tension. And what are the factors, we can say, what are the factors can be affected to the surface tension? That is one more point also there. So the factors can be affected for the surface tension are, you know, few points are there. As I told you, these are molecules which are having a bond between these molecules. So we can say the molecular size and molecular shape of the particles, and one is size and shape of the molecules. Second is temperature of the liquid, and next is the pressure of the liquid. And you can say some kind of surfactants if you use, then there will be effect on the surface tension also. Okay, as you know, the temperature increases, your surface tension will be decreased. Okay, your temperature increases means surface tension will be decreased. And one more reason is pressure and surfactant is there, and some kind of impurities. Okay, if some kind of impurities will be there, that also one kind of factors which will affect the surface tension. So these are the main concept of this, you know, surface tension. I hope you understood what the definition and what the concept of surface tension is there. If any kind of doubt or problems are there, you can give a comment on the comment box. Thank you all.